Hey everybody, welcome back to another LEGO City Update. Jordan here. Today we're going to be working on the far end of the LEGO City. Recently, we changed the entire downtown core and placed the newest modular building, which was the Dinos Exhibition. Boy oh boy, does it ever look good here with all the added detail, such as the alleyway and the traffic lights and the paved parking lot for the Quickie Mart and much more. Now we turn and look over here, where we have, of course, the residential area, the soon-to-be farm and zoo, also the water, so that being the beach, and also boat docks. And this is where our changes are going to take place. We're looking to make more space in the LEGO City, and we have a way of doing that right over here. So today we're going to be completely changing this area of the LEGO City to make space for more modular style buildings, or any sort of LEGO City buildings, right? So we're actually going to be reducing this here area in half. Yeah, that's right. We're going to reduce the amount of sand in half, and we're going to reduce the amount of water in half. How are we going to do that? We're going to raise this drop table here. It is going to be quite the task because there is like rock edges all over the place, right? That are just full of LEGO pieces. Yeah, so all of that has to move and change, so it's going to be a huge task. But we're up for it, and as always, changing the LEGO City and always keeping things fresh and just sort of making space for more cool stuff. So I think the first thing that we have to do is clean up all of this beach stuff here. So like all these beach cabanas, all these palm trees, all these minifigures, stuff like that, have got to get out of the way so we can start making the necessary changes so that we can raise this table right there. So we removed all of the fancy beach stuff, that being minifigures, beach towels, chairs, stuff like that. Also the palm trees, some structures, and the beach cabanas. Now we're going to start removing all of this sand detail here. That's just some tan plates on top of the base plates, right? But we can start to see how much space that we're going to free up. In fact, it's 2.5 base plates by 8 base plates. So we're going to free up approximately 20 base plates, which is huge. I mean, obviously we're not going to be able to have as much stuff happening on the beach or in the boat docks. Like for example, that boat ramp right there is going to collide with this dock, unfortunately, so we're going to have to come up with a new solution. But freeing up 20 base plates for things like modular buildings and residential buildings, I think that looks like, or this right here looks a lot better than just having blue water with some boats. I think this just has so much more storytelling and detail. So I'm excited to make the changes. All right, we removed all of our tan plate, and now it's the time for scary stuff. There's two ways that we could remove this rock work right here that we worked so hard on. We could just, you know, take it apart piece by piece. But the problem is it's quite the stretch, and that would probably hurt our back. So what we have to do is, I think, go in there Incredible Hulk style and smash it. Oh my gosh, it's really stuck to the ground there. Oh wow. LEGO, the ultimate clutch power. Oh my gosh, it's one big solid piece. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's the rock work that we've been looking for. I think I need to remove a little bit more, but you can see how I built that there. It's like a solid piece, and it's all these MERPs panels and stuff like that. And then inside there's actually some support beams. But we need to remove all the way to here because that's where the table's gonna be raised. So it's gonna get messy, and there's gonna be tears shed by old Bricksie here, but yeah, it is what it is. I think we gotta come right up to here. This next MERP probably. I might leave it like that. No, actually I gotta remove this whole base plate, right? Because all of that's getting raised up, so we gotta go to the next MERP. No! You know how many hours I put into that? Too many. Oh well, we gotta get rid of this base plate here. And once we get rid of that base plate, then we're pretty much good to go. Beauty. There we are. So yeah, now we're almost there, getting ready to raise the table. So we've got everything cleared away here, and now we're starting to work on layout. So there's a few different things that we can do. We can use wood, which is essentially one brick tall, this plywood here, or we can do a Mills plate style. Now we'd like to go with the Mills plate style. However, we don't have any more half base plates because you can see in order to cover up this here, we need a half base plate because this is 2 base plates and then we need the half there. So you don't have any more half plates. So we got to think to ourselves, well, maybe we should change this all to wood, but then there's not going to be the depth of the sand, which is really nice. So we got to think to ourselves, how are we going to make this work? Because you can see this cliff edge here is adapted to 1 base plate row there. So I think what we're actually going to do is something a little bit different, and we're going to expand the amount of water. Well, expand the water based on what we thought we were going to have. And how we're actually going to do that is we're going to slide this table out 5 inches, and then we're going to use that 10-inch piece of wood right here so it sits right here. So rather than the water being 25 inches that we originally thought it was going to be, it's actually going to be 30 inches. Because we have a pretty good space right here that we can fit through, and we figured we can lose 5 inches there. It's not that big of a deal. And then we're going to be able to add a half base plate row to our water and then allocate all of this area here to the Lego City. So that's what we decided to do, just based on the amount of pieces that we have, the wood that we have cut, and also the amount of space that we have here. We think it's the best thing. So of course, in order to execute that change there, I need to top this table here with some plywood because there's a pretty big overhang right here and a massive overhang right there where there wouldn't be any plywood to make the level of difference there with the sand. So luckily for me, I have a skill saw and a garage full of wood from all the different table layouts that we've done in the past, and making that adjustment was fairly easy. Now I just need to find a way to slide that plywood underneath all of this Lego here without making a mess. So Mrs. Bricksie and I are living life on the edge right now. We decided to allocate another half base plate or 5 inches to the upper portion as well. Whew. So we've expanded the whole Lego City, well, at least the water area, by 1 base plate. I think something like that. Either way, the tabletop worked out beautifully. It's looking good. So what are we up to now? Well, we have to lock in all of our base plates just to make sure everything is aligned properly. For example, it's overlapping right here by 16 studs or half a plate. Then we just have to lay all the base plates up top here, clip them all together just to make sure that everything lines up properly. And we're starting at the city section. I'll put all our base plates there, and then we're going to move to our ocean. So yeah, check this out. I moved this all in one chunk. That section right there was a little bit sketchy, but I also moved this whole section over here as well. I wish I had it on videotape. It almost won over, but yeah, it worked. We moved it as one big chunk. I wish we had a mill system because this big disaster that happens every time we change the Lego City with the tiling and the minifigures and the details and stuff like that would not have to be destroyed and redone every single time we redo the Lego City. Well, it's not like it would be perfect every time, but it would reduce a lot of the work, but it would be a lot of work to integrate the system. Maybe one day we'll do that. For those of you who don't know what a mill system is, it's a modular integrated landscaping system, and essentially it builds these thick base plates. So you take a base plate and you layer it with bricks, and then you put plates on top, and they all interlock together like modular buildings, and you can create landscaping and stuff on the base plate. So maybe eventually we'll do that because we've redone our downtown. Well, we've redone our whole Lego City so many times that we're starting to realize that mills would probably reduce the amount of work, add a lot more detail, and just make everything better. But it would be a lot of work and a big dollar investment. So you can see Mrs. Bricksie here just locking in all the plates. Slowly but surely, we'll get it all aligned, and then we'll start working on a ballpark layout in this Lego City update. Throughout this entire day, we've been working on this project on and off. We've been doing some other stuff, but it's been a challenge, and I'm really happy with the end result that we have here. We've got so much room for activities down here. It's incredible. Look at this. We've got some large gray base plates right here. We've got 3 of them open. Then we've got, what is that, 4 sand base plates right there, or tan base plates? Yeah. So we've got a lot of space here that can be allocated to buildings. What are we going to put there? I don't know. That's going to be released in a future update because I don't even know yet. I've got to sleep on it. Probably going to move these mini modulars over here and make some sort of like shopping district or something just out by the beach, right? It's going to be wicked. Also, we're going to put that Ferris wheel back there, of course, put all that beach detail back. We've got to rebuild our boat dock because it's destroyed. We've probably got to relocate some of that stuff there. And then remember that nice cliff edge that I built or that I destroyed? Well, it turns out I shouldn't have destroyed so much of it, but I didn't know we were going to increase the size of the table. So shouldn't have parted that out, but oh well. Going to have to rebuild that. Shouldn't take too long. I'm pretty skilled at it at this point. I've taken it apart and rebuilt beach areas plenty of times, as you can imagine. But we've got so much space. Look at that. There's even more space right over there by that semi-truck that James Dowling sent us. We got all that space, right? It's all that stuff there. We've got to rebuild the shipping yard. We've got to rebuild the boat docks, the cliff edge, get all our beach details back, and then start filling this area up. As you can imagine, look at all of the space we have for buildings. Like, it's a lot of space. So for those of you who are saying we're running out of space, no, we are not running out of space. We have lots of space for buildings, and we had it sort of cached away in our water beach area. And now our beach is a more realistic size. Before there was a lot of sand there. But the problem was I didn't have any buildings for this area, and I still don't. So what are we going to do? I don't know. I guess there's going to be lots more stuff coming out in the near future, right? So yeah, but now this sand is a way more realistic size compared to the amount of water that we have. Also, when we were moving it, we saw a bunch of unforeseen challenges. I had to cut a bunch of wood, as you know, in regards to getting the table topper there, and also down here, this table leg smashed our underwater area. No, we put so much work into that. So yeah, we've got to move all that stuff. There's parts and pieces everywhere. It's an absolute disaster. But that's what happens when you build Lego cities and sort of have different ideas and slowly integrate them over time. But Jose and I are going to continue working on this area over the course of the next week or so. Of course, you just see the videos come out in chronological order, but we've got a lot of other behind the scenes work going on, and we like to work on the Lego City as much as possible, and that's our New Year's resolution, work on the Lego City, and I think we're off to a great start. We've already accomplished so much here in 2022, such as the downtown core, woohoo, and now the beach area, which is going to be looking just dandy in the near future. Look at all the boats we got here too. Whoa, that's a lot of boats. Everybody remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff, and thank you so much for popping on by. Have yourselves a fantastic day.